Okay, guys, so let's talk Trello really quick. If I were going to set up Trello, how I would do it is you log in, you can create an account usually with Facebook. It's not like on HubSpot where you need a company domain. And I didn't tell you guys this yesterday. I totally forgot, but some of you messaged me. If you are trying to set up Trello and you want to have a new or a domain name, you can always use Maximize Your Job Search. So no worries. Anytime you need to use my company name for something, feel free to, within reason. But all right, so I have mine set up, of course, with my work email. And if I go to different boards, I have, like we're establishing a learning management system. We're writing a book called Lost in Transition. And then I have weekly goals. So I want to create a board here. So I can go up to this little plus sign and go to create a board. You can also start with a template, but I could decide how I want it to look. And then I've used for my 10 free boards. So you get 10 free boards. I have a team visible. This would be job search task or job search tracking. You could do it if you didn't want to use HubSpot for tracking, or this would be a great replacement if you're using an Excel sheet. Also, Trello is a team collaboration tool, so great tool to have on your resume that you know how to use. So if I wanted to just track in stages, and one thing I like is, let's say we had I applied for a job at Maximize Your Job Search, right? And so I can create this board. I can then have a card that is job search task. And then I could go into the job search task. I can create a checklist of things that I need to do. So maybe I need to update my resume, application task. I can add that. I can update my resume. Apply online. Connect with people from Maximize Your Job Search. Follow up. Research company. So these are all tasks that maybe I want to do, and it could track that. I could put my job description here. I can add, there's power ups, you can move. So if I had it in different stages, so I'll show you how to do that in a second. I can label, I can add due dates. I can share this with other people if I wanted to have an accountability group. I can have attachments. So those job descriptions, I could put notes about the salary requirements or conversations that we've had, contact information. This is all really, really cool. So if I go to, let's see, activity, I can write a comment here. Had call with recruiter, looks promising, salary range equals whatever dollar amount. Okay, and then I save that. Then I have this list of activities so I can kind of track it. It also will tell me kind of a time frame as well. So I really like it for this. There are also other ways that we could do this. So if I didn't want to label this, let's say I had Maximize Your Job Search here as my card name, and I wanted to rename this field applications. And then I could come over here and say interviews. And then I could create another card for, second interviews. And what I can do is, I can spell that right, but I can go over here to this card and I can move it to an interview stage, super easy. Or, and so track it through. That's another one. I could have one that says needs follow-up. So you could do it either way. You could either track it by company, but you would still have the same information if you do it this way, and you create a workflow across. And so if you're using this as a management tool, you can assign it to team members. But for you, it's just an individual tracking tool. I know several people who use this to track their job search. And it really is just a super simple way to go about making sure. And you can set up, and Paula knows a little bit more about this, but there's tons of free YouTube videos out there on how to maximize this. I'm currently taking a Udemy course that taught more about how to utilize Trello for business purposes, but you can create this checklist and use it as a template. So then if I created, like I can make this a template here. So definitely worth looking into, something that can absolutely maximize your job search. So let's look at another tool that I actually like a little bit better. So this is Monday. So Monday.com is another job search tool. If I go to create a new board, I'm going to do a blank board, job search tracking. I'll make it a main board. I can make it private or shareable. And I use this, so I did my course tracking. And just to kind of tell you, and we're working on updating this, so don't get upset if your info is off, but I also do challenge engagement tracking here. So I go through and mark, and it helps me get, points done, as well as to track. One thing that I really want to see with this challenge is, when we do XYZ activities, does it equal a job search? So I use it really extensively for tracking and data gathering. But if I was doing job search tracking, again, I could do the same thing. I could have a company name here, and I could have, the jobs I applied for if there's multiple, or I could say interview applications submitted. I could have target companies, target company watch list maybe. So let's say, and I'm going to kind of dig a little bit deeper on this one. Let's do a target company watch list. I would have, think about companies you would want to work for. Think you would want to work for, maximize your job search. So you could have that. You could have Toyota. You could have SiriusXM. So you can resize these. Let me go down here a little bit. I can just click and drag this over to resize it if I want to. Okay, so I can have a status, and I can set custom statuses by editing the labels. I can pick the colors I want. I can do the due dates. So when do I want to follow up? And then I can add these columns like text boxes or check boxes, timelines, different tags that I could do. I could have a numbers column, so to track points. And I could do any of this, right? The good thing about doing it this way on tracking it is you could have these check boxes of going, have I done this? I could schedule a follow-up date, or I could have it on a watch list. So I could set a date each week of, I want to follow up on this day. So if I were doing that, I might set a text that says last follow up. Okay. So, or I could say more columns. There's lots and lots of options out here. There's a time tracking column. I think some of those are upgraded, but I can have a status. I can have what people are assigned to it. I can have sub items, dates, and then I could also just put a checkbox in here of, let's see, checked openings. So if you have these target companies, then you're monitoring their website, then you could have these updates for what openings they currently have. So I can resize this so I can look at it at a glance. Mine goes way over on my other one, so I try to minimize it a little bit. So then if I checked on their current openings, then I have that available too. The good thing about this is I could then duplicate it for the next week. And so duplicate this group, items and statuses. So if I wanted to have one per week, then I could just, kind of monitor it that way as well. So just kind of giving you two different options. For us, Monday works better. It was worth the $15 that I'm paying. I think it's 15, maybe 20, and that I'm paying because it works as a good tool for us to track major projects like, do we have our show guest book or booked out? Whereas Trello was just a little bit more manual than what we needed as well. So anyway, that's all I wanted to show you guys with Trello and with Monday. I hope that helps. Let me know if you have any questions. Today's challenge will be to set up your Trello board because Trello is free. I don't want you to have to set up a Monday board, but definitely set up Trello. Just kind of see what it's capable of. If it doesn't help you in your job search, don't use it. If it does, then great. Then you have another tool. Regardless, you'll be able to say in a job interview that you've explored the technology. So personally, I think it's worth the challenge to go out there and just go ahead and create it. So talk to you soon. Bye.